Now, let me describe this man for those that never met him before. The last time I physically saw him was 3 years ago in the Bahamas on an RVP retreat. Him and his daughter had a great time with him. He's a family man. He's one of the co-founders, go-to guys to do training. Matter of fact, at the last virtual training we had, he was actually one of the trainers on our last virtual training, which was amazing. So we thank him for that. That's how much the co-founders look up to him to get out there and train to everybody. He's a true giver of his time. He's also, goes above the call of duty. He brings his people on it, and he just does such a great job. And he's a sought after speaker. He's known for his wisdom. He does a training twice a year, him and Mr. Mike Masudi up in Lake Tahoe with a bunch of the leaders. Miss Giles O'Driscoll's one of them also on the call, twice a year. And he's also an actor down in the Hollywood area where he lives. So without further ado, let's get him on the call. Here's the Regional Vice President Platinum, the one and only Mr. Dean Tarrolly.
What is up, Mr. Thomas? Hey, you guys, what's going on? So, I don't know how this happens, man. I keep doing these months for you, and somehow I get a month off, and you all just, I don't know. I guess you're not sick of me. You keep having me back. We're going on 1.5 years now, Mr. Thomas, and I'm, you guys, and I'm just playing. I love being on this call. I think the way that, Mr. Thomas thinks, it's like, look, this is not designed just for his team or my team. If you're doing the business the right way, and your intentions and your actions are in alignment, it doesn't matter what team you're on, because the leaders are always going to find a way to come together. And what's really great about that is if you do this for a long enough period of time, Mr. Thomas mentioned, he mentioned that the last time we got a chance to really see each other was on this RVP trip. So let me just tell you this really quickly. I wish and I hope that you all are around long enough to experience the kind of friendships and relationships that can come from building this business together, whether you're on the same team or not. And I see some old familiar faces that I haven't seen for a minute, right, Mr. Clark? I have some other friends on here, and hopefully some new friends. So the other thing I'll just share with you very quickly, and we're going to dive into it, you guys. So my intention is that you get writer's cramp this morning, because I got some stuff to give you from my notebook. Want you to know very quickly how I feel about Mr. Thomas, and I echo the sentiments of the company and the leaders, the RVPs and the SVPs. When you are a person that's achieved the kind of financial success that Al Thomas has, you do not need to do a daily morning call for a team of people. It's just not required, because he's already done it. He's already accomplished it. And what's amazing is the very thing that helped him become the leader and having the success that he has is doing things just like this when he doesn't need to. So I just want you to remember this. When you go above and beyond, the extra 10% that you give when your tank is empty will make all the difference in the world. The difference between Mr. Thomas and most people who ever get involved in a networking company or ACN is he just was never really satisfied. There was always another level to go to. There was always another position to hit, even though he's the senior vice president, top position in the company. Now it's about how many people can he help get there, and watch what happens. So Mr. Thomas, great to see you. Thanks for having me back. You keep having me back. So I'm going to give you what I got. So, are you guys ready? Okay, cool. So, got my notebook. For those of you who know me, I go right out of here. Well, I got a stack of them, but this is the one I'm working on or working through now. So I was going through all the notes and the things that we had talked about and tried to get a handle on where we are. And some of you are new, so I'm going to do some stuff that might sound a little basic for those of you who've been around for a minute. I'm telling you, there is a miracle in the mundane. There is a miracle in the mundane. There is a miracle in doing the very basic things over and over again. So I really encourage you to take notes. Okay. So you can start to build your book, your leadership book. It's important. So here we go. In April, what do we talk about? The theme for April, and I'm not going to test anybody. I'll be testing you guys by next week. But in April, the theme of April was advance your business. What could we do to advance your business? And then I had the month of May off. And in June, the theme for it was you need to call your shot. And that's something that I think is really important because a lot of people, Roxanne already put it up there. She's got it right there. By the way, I do need to recognize Roxanne. So Roxanne, one of my regional directors, very, very lucky, very blessed to have her on my team. She's been nationally recognized the last 3 months in our company. And let me tell you something. It's because she applies the things that we go over here. She doesn't. There's a big difference, you guys. Listen to me. There's a big difference between hearing and listening. There's a big difference. You can hear something and not listen, right? We can all hear something and not listen. And I know most of the women on this call are going, yep, that's my guy. He hears me, but he ain't listening, right? Like, I get it. I get it. Sometimes it goes the other way, but I know it goes the way I just said a lot. So here's what Roxanne did. Roxanne used to hear what we would train on. And then she started listening and applying. So you can't apply unless you listen. Unless you have the information and you take it in, you can't apply it. So April was advance your business. June was call your shot. Now, what did I mean by that? Well, look, sometimes, in fact, not even sometimes, if you want to do something significant anywhere, but certainly if you want to do something significant in ACN, you got to have some courage, man. You got to have some courage. There's no entrepreneurs that I know of that don't have courage. In fact, you know what's frightening to them? Not doing something new. What's scary for an entrepreneur is the routine, is not breaking out and doing something different. So June was important because we needed to call our shot. Like, look, man, where are you going? What are you doing? What are you going to accomplish? What did I say to you guys? I will be executive team leader by this. I will have 60 personal customer points by then. Here's the magic one. Here's the magic one. So I know some of you are walking around and some of you, but hear what I'm saying. Here's the magic one. I will be a regional director by date. That was June. You had to call your shot, man. So now what are we going to talk about in August? What are we going to talk about in August? The theme for this month, at least for me on Thursdays, is going to be accelerate. 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 Right? So what does it mean to accelerate? What does it mean? So August is acceleration month. August is accelerate. What does it mean? What's the definition? Out of Webster's, I'm going to give you the definition and we're going to apply it to ACN. Are y'all ready? Okay, cool. Accelerate, to move faster, to gain speed. Now think of the second definition of this. You guys won't believe this when I read this to you. Okay. The first definition of accelerate is to move faster, to gain speed. The second definition of accelerate, you guys listen to this. This is in Webster's. I freaked out. I got goosebumps when I read this, when I knew this was what I was going to be training you guys on. The second definition of accelerate from Webster's dictionary says to progress from grade to grade, to move more rapidly than usual, to follow a speeded up educational program. It says to progress from grade to grade. I mean, what the hell? That's what we do in ACN. CQ to ETL, ETL to RD, RD to RVP, RVP Gold, Platinum, SVP. To progress from grade to grade. That's what we want. That is not my definition. That is the definition from Webster's dictionary. To move faster, to gain speed, to progress from grade to grade. So now my question for you guys is this. Are you ready, willing, and prepared to progress your business from grade to grade? Yes or no? Yeah? All right, so cool. So here's what I'll tell you. We'll see. Right, you guys, if you know me, we'll see. I hope so. I want that for you. I really do, but we shall see. So now let's talk about this. Everybody wants their business to grow. Like, I get it. Everybody wants their business to grow. Everybody wants to see their positions advance in ACN. And I get it. The goal here, though, ultimately is to accelerate to and through momentum. Let me say that again. The goal here is to accelerate to get there and through momentum. Who knows, halfway between Los Angeles and Las Vegas, there is a, and Brian Baker's not allowed to answer this question. What city is that big outside thermostat? Who knows what city that is? I believe it's Baker. Okay. So there you go. Roxanne's level. Okay. That's why Brian wasn't allowed to answer. Why am I bringing this up? Okay. Why am I, you guys? Oh, by the way, for the record, those of you who know me, I don't have to tell you this. Those of you who don't know me, I'm going to take you on a bit of a trip over the course of the time we're together this morning, but I promise you everything comes full circle. I promise you, just hang in there. So why do I bring this up? I got news for you. If you're driving from LA to Vegas, you are trying to accelerate to and through Baker, California. Why? Because it's there's a thermostat that's outside, right? That will show you in the summer. I don't think it ever goes below 100. So we want to get you to and through momentum. We want to accelerate. We don't want to go slowly through there. Remember that I said this. I got this from one of my coaches and mentors, Efren Tejada. In ACN, success loves speed. Success loves speed. If this is I'm going to take it easy, I'm going to take this pizza one tiny little bite at a time, the pizza's going to get cold before you even get to the good part because you're going so slow. So what is required to advance your business? What's required to accelerate? You have to have some faith. You have to have a leap of faith with the leader that you're working with and the system that they're training. So what does that mean? You got to let go of the edge of the pool. You can't be gripping. You cannot grip. Okay. What do I mean by that? If you don't let go of the edge of the pool and get in the water with the leader that you're working with, I'm telling you, ACN is a grind. Like you guys, I have an obligation to tell you up front. If you're trying to figure this thing out on your own, if you're trying to figure out on your own timetable, right? And what I mean by timetable is this: as human beings, a lot of times we put things off that we could do today. Why do we have a coach? Why do people have trainers in the gym? Because they keep them on a path to get the desired goal that someone wants. So remember about this month, it's accelerate. And what the ultimate goal is, is momentum. Okay. So here we go. Let's go back. Let's talk about August. In fact, I think I should be able to share my screen. I'm going to share something with you guys. Hey, Mr. Thomas, I was ready for you guys today. All right, cool. So I'm going to share something with you guys, and it's from a guy that I listen to a lot, that I like, named Gary Vaynerchuk. And for those of you who don't know, most people have heard of Gary V. I just like the way the guy thinks, right? Out of the box, entrepreneur, right? Just I relate to the things that he says. And he put something out recently, and it's like a minute long, but I want you guys to hear it. Disregard the swear words on the right-hand side, because if you guys know Gary, he uses a lot of swear words, whatever. We're all adults, right? So just if the kids are in the room, just bring down the volume or put in your earpiece, whatever, right? But I want you to get the message, because we're talking about August. I couldn't believe I found this when I knew that I was going to be training in August for Mr. Thomas and all of his leaders. Okay, so give me a second. I'm going to try to pull this thing up and hope that I do it successfully. So hang on, and you guys got to kind of, okay, and here we go.
If You're watching this video right now, and if you want it as bad as I hear you want it, and if this is your year, then my friends, you need to understand that these 31 days in August is exactly when you triple down, when you 4X, 5X down in your hustle. While everybody's at the pool drinking rosé, this is when you put in the grinding hours and get ready for your master plan. Now, I'm gonna flip you a little bit. August is also the month for all those people that are content, hustled all year, crushing it. It's a very strategic month to kind of go into that rest period. August is such an interesting month for me. You can play it one or two ways, but it depends on where your head's at right now. If you're watching this video right now, and if you want it as bad as I hear you want it, and if this is your year, then my friends, you need to understand that these 31 days in August is exactly when you triple down, when you 4X, 5X down in your hustle. While everybody's at the pool drinking rosé, this is when you put in the grinding hours and get ready for your master plan. Now, I'm gonna flip you a little bit. August is also the month for all those people that are content, hustled all year, crushing it. It's a very strategic month to kind of go into that rest period. August is such an interesting month for me. You can play it one or two ways, but it depends on where your head's
Listen to it a third time. Here goes. I want you to hear this. It should play again. I hope. Okay, why are you not doing that? All right, hang on one second, you guys. It's so short. I'm gonna try it again.
If you're watching this video right now, and if you want it as bad as I hear you want it, and if this is your year, then my friends, you need to understand that these 31 days in August is exactly when you triple down, when you 4X, 5X down in your hustle. While everybody's at the pool drinking rosé, this is when you put in the grinding hours and get ready for your master plan. Now, I'm gonna flip you a little bit. August is also the month for all those people that are content, hustled all year, crushing it. It's a very strategic month to kind of go into that rest period. August is such an interesting month for me. You can play it one or two ways, but it depends on where your head's at right now.
Okay.
You're watching this.
Why did I
right
want
now,
you guys to see this? Let me show you something.
I hear you
let me tell you something.
This is your.
Here's why. I wanted you guys to hear that because here's what I believe. And I hope you guys all take this the right way. And I hope you guys know where this is coming from me. Al knows me. Some of you have gotten to know me over the course of the last year and a half. Some of you were brand new acquaintances here. I don't know that anybody on this call has done enough to take August off. I don't think so. Now look, I could be wrong because I don't know everybody, but I know if I talk to Brian Baker, he'd be like, nope. I know if I talk to Julian Lewis, he'd be like, nope. I know if I talk to Natasha, she'd be nope. I know if I talk to Jocelyn Driscoll, regional vice president, she'd say nope. None of the leaders will look at you and go, we've done enough to take August off. But all of the leaders would go, you know what? Time to 4X, time to 5X. What does that mean? That means it's time to challenge yourself and to get the acceleration that you want. We have to advance. We have to accelerate our effort. I freaking love August. Why? Because everybody's going to start getting serious. You guys, this is so crazy to me. Everybody's going to start getting serious about their lives. When? In September. Why? Kids are back to school. Got to wipe off the cobwebs from the 4th of July. I'm still trying to get over my hangover. We had such a great time on the boat. You know, summer. I'm getting ready to get serious in September, right? What about the people who are serious in August and you've already lapped them? What about the people who are serious in August and you've set up for September, not getting started in September? Look, you guys, the company already announced they're going to be doing in-person events all around the country. Freaking August, start networking, start finding, start building, start creating relationships into all these different marketplaces. I'll tell you about one that we're going to be doing here at the end of the month. So you guys, did that make sense what Gary Vee said? Like you guys, do you know how it blows my mind. When I talk to Al about stuff like this, it blows my mind that we have this opportunity and a lot of times this opportunity gets disrespected because it's not taken seriously. because people don't understand that you can absolutely have, listen to me. Are y'all with me? You can accelerate your business and get to executive team leader, regional director, 75 points, 100 points. You can absolutely do that part-time plan B on the side. You know, I have one of my other regional directors on here now, Ryan Ruiz. Roxanne finished number 15 in the company, or number 13 in the company last month. Ryan Ruiz finished number 8. You know what they did in July? They worked. You know what they did in June? They set up July. They worked. Their business accelerated. It can happen for every single person on this call. Every single person on this call. Look, I do not care what position you're at. I know this. Whatever position any of you are at right now, if you made a choice to put all your chips in and do what is required, which I'm going to cover in a second, you can go regional director and be regional director by January 1. You understand that the decisions that you make to accelerate your business in August will show up in January? And next thing you know, you got those last 15 points coming in, and you are a freaking regional director on this call by the new year. Guess what that does? It changes all of 2022 for you because of adjustments that you made and a decision to accelerate your business in August. So, in my opinion, August separates people in ACN. It does. August is separation month. August is the people that, you know what? I'm done being that trainer guy with nobody following me. It's time for me to go back and be a student, go back to the system, lean and rely on my upline, and go back to the basics. Am I saying don't be a leader? No. What I'm saying is if you're a leader, be an example for your team. You guys, second half of this year is going to be bananas for the people who apply what I'm talking about. So let's go back to some basics. What do we do? Okay, this is going to be short, but strap in. What do we do? We get customers, we build teams, we promote events. So let me be clear with you. I don't care what you do in your day. And by the way, for the record, if I ever say anything, you guys, that that may not compute for you, take it to Al. I defer to Al Thomas. This is his call. And if and by the way, he would let me know. And by the way, in a year and a half, I don't think he ever has. But if there's something that I train on that's kind of out of sync or out of step with what your RVP or with what Mr. Thomas certainly is training you, I want you to defer to them. Defer to them the exact same way as my RDs defer to me. Right? By the way, the exact same way I defer to Mike Basutti, who broke every record in the company when he became a senior vice president, right? But I do look to people like Al Thomas for counsel. I do look to him for leadership. And I've talked to him on plenty of occasions about things that I need to do to try to get to his position. So I know that we really, really think along the same lines, but I do want to tell you this, you guys. If you go through your ACN day and you did not acquire a customer, pique someone's interest, present the opportunity, or promote an event, you did no ACN that day. And that's just very clear because there's no place in the reports where it says went to leadership. There's no points for that, right? This is all about you getting developed and getting trained, which is so important. But understand ACN is a customer acquisition company, which is based completely on the acquisition of customers personally and through your team, building a team and getting people promoted to the events. Those are the things that will pay you. And there's only 2 of them that show up on the reports in terms of your dollars coming into your direct deposit. Customers acquired, new team members joining the team, and them getting qualified. That's it. In fact, folks, in my notes, if you can read that, look at those 3 things. Look at my notes. Get customers, build teams, promote events. That's it. That's in my notes. So why do we why does it happen in ACN that the more we know, the less we do? Right? Like sometimes the more we know, we become experts on all these other things when all we have to do is go back to the basics, follow the system, and watch what happens. That's why I love being new. You want the best advice I can give you? Be new. You know, I have a new guy on my team. Great guy out on the East Coast. His name is Mike, and he's actually on this call. And let me tell you something. Mike calls me almost daily, and here's what he says. What can I do better? Guide me, direct me. What can I do better? Did I say this right? Did I do this right? By the way, for the record, who would love to work with someone like that? I would. I do. Well, guess what? You can be that person to the leader that you're working with. Hey, I need to reset. We've covered that before. I need to restart. What do I need to do? I'm going to follow exactly what you say. And that starts to duplicate out. Every single one of you can be in a vastly different position in the next 5 months. I promise you. So I have a list of a couple things or a few things for you guys to write down. So here we go. How do we accelerate? Here goes. How do we accelerate? Okay. Number one, exposures. That is number one. Not exposures. The law of large numbers will not fail you. This call is proof. There's 76 people on this call right now. So you're not the only one who gets this, who sees this, who understands this, and who wants this. Other people do as well. Here comes number two. Respect your role. You got to respect your role in this process, right? You got to respect your role. And your role will change. The greatest thing in our business is to give somebody else the reins. But okay, write this down. It's not in my notes, but I just thought of this. Do not make ACN the issue. Make your leader the issue. Well, hey, Roxanne, hey, Mary, hey, Miriam, hey, Belinda, hey, James, hey, Urshela, hey, Daryl, hey, Latasha, hey, Baker, hey, Jamar, what's this all about? Well, I'll tell you what it's about. It's about me introducing you to the leader that I'm working with who's expanding this market. Well, what do I need to do? What you need to do is I got to try to arrange a 2-minute phone call with you to meet him, to meet her, so they can explain to you. Why can't you explain it to me? That's not my job. That's not the position that I'm in right now. Well, if this thing is so great, how come you don't know about it? No, I do, but I'm not the person to communicate it to you. The lost art of peaking and passing and edification, man. And that's not going to be this call. That'll be a future call. The lost art of that. Make someone else the issue. So respect your role. Number 3, accept and embrace the sorting process. Accept and embrace the sorting process. What are we doing? We're sorting through people. I officially, okay, Al, I officially relinquish and relieve all of you from the following obligation. You ready? I release and relinquish all of you from the following obligation. From this day forward, you are no longer obligated or committed to convince anybody. Those days are over. No convincing. You guys, and I've done it too. So look, I'm no better than anyone on this call. I've done it too. How draining is it to try to convince the logic of getting paid on a bill that you have to pay for? It's just like, those are two ships passing in the night. Like, dude, you wouldn't want to get paid on your own cell phone bill? How is it? Like, you guys, here's how I'm wired. How is that even possible? How is that possible? Doesn't make sense to me. Accept and embrace the sorting process. You guys, the faster you can sort through people, the faster you promote to the position you want. Spend 1 minute with 100 people, not 100 minutes with one person. Next, get them through the process. You like what we're doing? Great. I'm going to explain to you. I'm going to invite you onto an overview to hear a senior vice president break down this business. Great. I'm having a handful of people on a Zoom. You know Zoom, right? Yeah. I'm having a handful of people on a Zoom Thursday night or whatever, Tuesday night, 8:00. Can I put you down for coming? Well, I don't know. Well, listen, I only get a few seats. So if you don't let me know in an hour, then I'm going to be giving that spot away. Giving that spot away. Yeah, I'm only allowed to invite a handful of people. Creating value in that window of time for people to see what we're doing. So number 3 is accept and embrace the sorting process. We're trying to get to the red and green apples as fast as possible. Number 4, this is a big one. They're all big ones. Number 4, be a steward of the system. Be a steward of the system. Peaking, passing, presenting, right? The system. The people that do not see an opportunity, the people that do not get started on the team, we ask them to be a customer. Over and over and over and over, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Promote the events. Let the events do the work for you. There's going to be an event in Cleveland. There's going to be an event in Jersey. There's going to be an event in Texas. There's going to be an event in Southern California. There's going to be an event in San Antonio. Excited about that. Talk about that in a minute. Number 5, big one. Work on yourself. Work on yourself. Personal development. Now, here's the danger in personal development, right? Here goes. People go, whoa, whoa, whoa. There's no danger in personal development. There is, in my opinion. And I'm just one guy, but in my opinion. Maybe danger is not the right word, but let me just kind of give it to you this way. People get so caught up in their personal development, they happen to leave their ACN business by the side of the road. Like, now look, you guys, ultimately we're human beings. I want everybody to be personally developed. I want you to do it to the degree that it'll impact your life and your family and your relationships and the kids and who you are and what you're doing. It is tremendously important, but we're having a business conversation. And sometimes what people do is they almost replace one for the other. They become so personally developed, but they're a customer qualified rep and they've been in the business for 6 years. Like, how are we applying the personal development to the business that we're in? Like, let's go. But here's what I do know. All of the leaders in this company, and Mr. Thomas is just one of the best examples of it. They've all worked on themselves to become and develop into the leaders that can best serve a group. So find something that you are reading, go talk to the leader that you're working with. And it doesn't even have to have anything to do with network marketing. I love leadership books. There's a great book, right? I love coaches. I'll do it. Maybe I'll do that before the end of the month. I'll talk about some of the coaches, like sports coaches. Look up the biography of John Wooden. You'll be blown away. The winningest coach in the history of college basketball. Look up John Wooden and you guys, I'm telling you, you will be blown away when you read that book. It's an easy read, but it's really amazing what he did with those UCLA teams. Right? I'll give you one quick thing. So check this out. The players were coming into the locker room and a guy did not have his socks and shoes tied correctly. John wouldn't send him home. Dude did not have his socks and shoes on correctly. The coach sent him home. You know, I've heard Larry Raskin say, for those of you who know Larry Raskin, one of the most successful people in the history of network marketing, he said, and he's the vice president of leadership development for ACN. Here's what he said. He said, people go, practice makes perfect. Wrong. Larry Raskin said that is not true. Practice does not make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. Big difference. Number 6, here goes. Number 6, copy and model successful people. Copy and model successful people. You know, for those of you who've been on and that are on social media, on Instagram, Pat Mazer just had something, a little clip from one of the events when he was training. And he goes, and I told this person this piece of information, and they said, God, that's amazing. And he goes, yeah, that's what I thought when I heard it too. So what does that mean? It means you copy. You know, the old joke is, you know, in school, you get in trouble for copying. Here, you get diamonds in your pin for copying. Copy, right? Copy and model successful people. Man, you guys, if I could tell you the number of times that I've heard, you know, God, you sound just like Dean when you say that. Great. I got it from someone else. Make it your own. But yes, you want to be duplicatable. You want to be copyable. Number 7, a couple more and we're done. Number 7, be proof. You need to be proof. What does that mean? Proof that this works. You're customer qualified. You have 75 points. You're an ETL. You're a regional director. See, what happens is when you follow through and you do what you said you were going to do, you are now credible. Credibility, man. By the way, when you are proof, that is the best recruiting tool you'll ever have. Yeah, Roxanne just put it in the chat. Lead by example. Be the proof. Just be the proof. Let me take the pressure off of all of you. You don't need everyone. You do not. By the way, there's a big difference. You guys, there's a big difference between someone and everyone. There's a big difference between someone and everyone. Well, not everybody's going to do this. Yeah, no kidding. Like, duh. Like, here's what even though you guys are all muted, I want you to look at me and say this. Duh. Right? For those of you who didn't say it, here's one more chance. Say, duh. Duh. No kidding. Never said everybody's going to do it, but I know that someone will. Number 8, learn duplication. Learn duplication. Here goes. Write this down. I do it. You watch. We do it together. You do it. I watch. You do it. Someone else watches. There's the system. There's duplication. I do it. You watch. We do it together. You do it. I watch. You do it. Someone else watches. Is this making sense, you guys? Yes or no? Okay, check this out. Check this out. I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to just give a little bit of definition. So here goes. I do it, you watch. That's going to happen a few times. I do it, you watch. Next, we do it together. That's going to happen a few times. You do it, I watch. That's going to happen a few times. You do it, someone else watches. Now the duplication process is started. You want to accelerate your business? You need to embrace what I just shared with you. Why don't most people accelerate their business? Because most people aren't willing to put in the time to do what I just described. Period. That's it. That's it. Thanks, Jocelyn. Number 9. Number 9, do something every day. Do something every day. Do something about getting a customer and do something about having an exposure or a new rep joining your team. Something every day. By the way, did I say everything every day? No. By the way, if you want to go RD in the next 90 days, guess what? All out massive action. Larry Raskin, AOMA. You got to do a lot every day. But so long as you're doing something every day, you're going to be advancing your business. You have the shot at creating acceleration. And number 10, isn't it funny? Number 10 and number 1. Number 10, acceleration happens with mass exposures. So I made number 1 and I made number 10 virtually the same on purpose. Because now you guys have parts 2 through 9 that serve part number 1 and lead to part number 10. Acceleration happens with mass exposures. And see, when you start doing mass exposures, guess what happens? People with a desire are going to identify themselves to you. They're going to show up. They're going to be like that gentleman, Mike, I spoke of earlier. Like they're going to identify themselves. You're not going to have to convince them. Like, what do I need to do this? What do I need to do that? Last thoughts. Acceleration will always start with action. It will always start with action, whether you feel like it or not. And in fact, most of the time when you don't feel like it, guess what? That's when something big is going to happen, because your reason why is bigger than your conditions. Your reason why is bigger than your circumstances. But you're committed to what you were doing, and you said you were going to accelerate this month. The season that we're in right now, you guys, do not get this twisted. Do not. The season that we're in right now, with the world fighting to open its way back up, events starting to happen, and Zoom is gold. It is genius. You couldn't have scripted this. 2 years ago, look, you guys, I don't care what anybody says. 2 years ago, people were not doing what we're doing right now. They were not doing Zoom. Why? Because there wasn't a necessity for it. Teach everybody how to do all that. No, I'll jump on a plane. I'll see you in a day. Well, now we can be in 9 states in 3 hours. The combination of Zoom and in person is going to advance people's businesses like I can't even tell you. And here's the last thing. And this is totally up to you. It's not up to me. And by the way, it's not up to Al. So do not put this on Al Thomas. And you guys, I'm telling you right now, you're not allowed to put it on me. This is on you, right? Here it is. Here it is. Don't miss this season. Don't miss this season. This is totally your time. There will be RVPs birthed out of this season because they chose to be serious and use all of the events, this technology, and they made a decision to accelerate and get out of first gear. We'll do it together, but we can't do it like I'm not doing it for you, and nor is Al. And far be it for me to tell Al Thomas ever what to do in ACN, but I know I speak for him. I don't want him to do it for you, because if the leader does the work for you, we're taking away your victory in this thing. Your victory is you doing it, you going through the growth, but we'll do it. We'll be right by your side. So anyway, Al, first one of the month. I know we went a little bit long. I hope everybody got something out of it. And you guys are stuck with me for another, what do we have? How many Thursdays are there in, let's see, one. Okay. So you got me, you're stuck with me for 3 more Thursdays. So,
sir, it's not called stuck. It's a blessing. Thank you. Hey, number 4, you said the 4 things. I was writing so kind of fast. Be a steward of the system. Of the system. And the 4 things you said, one was events. What were the other 3?
Oh man, did I go off book here? So, well, be a steward of the system, talking about the system of acquiring customers, how to build a team, how to promote the events, right? Those are the things that you have to have stewardship in. Right? People go, well, I'm going to get customers this way. Hang on. That's not how we do it. Right? Or how about this? Those people that go, they're brand new and they go, my dad's best friend is the CEO of Coca-Cola. I want to get their phone service. Hold on a minute. That's awesome. Hold on a minute. We're not talking to any of those folks. No, let me use different language. I wouldn't say it that way. Say it like this. Let's explore that after you become an executive team leader. I can't go into a big business and start talking to them about their stuff until we get you promoted, because we need to make you credible. So that's how you get them to want to do what you want them to do, with a goal of possibly talking to some of these bigger type clients. Well, I don't want to just nickel and dime this with these 1s and 2s. Really? Coca-Cola doesn't just sell to big businesses. You know where they make their money?
Mom and pop.
Guy going into the mom and pop convenience store and buying a bottle of Coke. because it happens 75,000 times a minute. So that's what the being a steward of the system.